Self-identified incel streamer Beardson Beardly. As you can see him on the screen, he's not the guy or woman in the red. He's the guy with that face thing here. Has been interviewed by far-right internet commentator Sarah Stock. Now, Sarah Stock has said a few good things over time. But she has recently shifted towards Catholicism, and I'm not personally against that, right? I'm Protestant, I believe that is correct, but I do believe that Catholics are brothers and sisters of Christ. Stock has now claimed some weird things. I'm not. I recently unfollowed her under these comments because she claimed that Nick Fuentes had some reasonable things to say. She believes in race-based ethno-nationalism, but she is, patriotic American. She does say a few things as well. But this streamer here, Beardson Beardly, is very, very, and I know I hate this word, it's going to make me sound like a leftist, problematic. He has said some very bad things, and his entire stick is just very annoying. Okay, he just goes around and calls women mid all day, and that's fun, and that's funny for like one or two. But this guy has like thousands and thousands of ex-followers, and he just goes around and calls people mid and ugly, and really just degrades people. Doesn't really have much to say. However, on top of that stick as well, which fine, call whoever you want mad. I call all lesbians quote unquote ugly. People got mad at me for that. I don't care. But the problem is that he's explicitly anti-Jewish, anti-Daily Wire. Now, you can be anti-Daily Wire, that's fine by me, but this guy is anti-Jewish. Let me see if I can play the video here on the screen.
But because when BLM says that whites run everything, they're actually talking about Jewish people. But because Jewish people mask themselves as white, we get blamed for everything. But as it turns out, they do kind of run a lot of stuff, and you're ignorant if you don't acknowledge.
Sarah Stock, for her part as well, is also, I wouldn't really say anti-Jewish, but anti-Israel. She's always talking about Palestine, etc. So she's wrong there as well. Now, here are some of the most recent comments that Beardson Beardly has said. I've compiled a collection of his latest hits. They're very stupid. Pete Gorilla says that Catholics founded Europe and now that's being run by Islamists. Don't be an idiot. The evils of this world, blah, blah, blah. You can see the cutoff on the screen there. And Beardson says, this is March 18th, 2025. No, it's being run by the Jews. He seems to have this frantic obsession with the Jews all the time. Like, it's women and then Jews. That's what he yaps about as well. In a interview with Islamist streamer Sneeko, he said that there should be a quote Christian Taliban and that Christians should team up with the Islamo-fascists. He said this on May 7th, 2023 to quote fight against the Jews. And this is of course with a Muslim man named Sneeko who is just deranged and an idiot. I don't know why anyone would talk to Sneeko as well. I called him a few months ago back. He's basically Timu Andrew Tate. And then here's some posts here. Like I said, he wants to create a Muslim Christian alliance when Muslims literally want to. I mean, it's in the Quran to murder the infidels, right? That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. So here's the next image on the screen. Hopefully you can see this. Here he is talking to Lizzie, popular ex account who advocates for Protestant Christianity in America, and I believe that's a good thing and right thing to do. Once again, he's saying that the Jews control America, that America is being run by the Jews, which is really, really weird and wild, seeing as the most powerful man in the world, and our president is a Protestant Christian. Now, you may say, he's not that good of a Protestant Christian, but Protestant Christian or not that good of a Protestant Christian or not Christian at all, that doesn't mean that, you're Jewish. Second of all, the vice president is a devout Catholic, and of course, our defense secretary is a Christian as well. Of course, he was mad about that as well, saying that he is a dispy who, supports and stands with Israel, like I do as well. Again, the top three people, and of course, of the cabinet secretaries in the United States, are not even Jewish. They're, Christians or irreligious. And this is, and he just doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, he said this on stream. He said this in 3 times already. And he is becoming a major, major problem here because he is getting really, really big. He gets to go on and yap off and say stuff like this. Next image. And then here we go back again. Back to that once he's done obsessing over the Jews, he's always back obsessing over women. that he likes to call quote unquote mid. Now, of course, I have this policy of not ranking people, but let's just go see through the people that he's called mid, and let's go. And he calls them some of the meanest names here as well. And you can see from the analytics. I'm actually going to let's see, merge this over in as well. Quote, I'm going back to bed. These ugly women have ruined my day already. 90,000 people saw this. And quote, I'm taking a day off. I don't want to look at ugly women today. Almost 200,000 people saw this as well. So this guy is extremely influential and he's extremely degrading to Jews and to women as a whole faction. Now, is that funny?
White,
maybe. But is that
get
nice?
blamed
Is
for
that right to say to
everything.
people?
But as it
No,
turns
I don't
out,
think so. This is not nice or right to say to someone. All right. Here we have this image of, I'm gonna merge zoom back in so you can see, quote, every day I log on to this app and have to suffer an avalanche of ugly women for your amusement. It never ends. And he doesn't really care that he has to see a, quote, avalanche of ugly women. He's making tons and tons of money off of this kind of money, off of off of interacting, being mean to women like this, right? He's making hundreds, thousands, almost 300,000 impressions right here. He's making money off of this. He doesn't care that he has to see mid woman all day. He could just log off, right? No one is enjoying this. No one is being amused. He's just annoying. Here we have some female streamers. Only know one out of four. I'm pretty good at this. The one in the white is apparently Pokemon. He says, I quote, I swear y'all make some of the ugliest women on the planet famous on Twitch. Now, of course, like these people, like whatever podcast, they never reveal to you what their tin is. We never know what that is. They just say, you're ugly, and they just move on with that as well. All right. Now on to image number 7. He just basically calls Madam President. Madam President. We did a video about her a few months ago, or weeks ago. I'm not sure. She was on the post cover of the New Yorker. She's like really famous or whatever. Madam President. She basically calls her mid and just basically says that she's committing all kinds of sins with no kind of evidence to back this up. She was just on the cover of the New York. Of the New Yorker, and she was just at like some pro-Trump rally as well. And speaking of pro-Trump, Sarah Stock and Beardson Beardley have both come out and say they're not really as pro-Trump anymore. They wish that he do more, that he wish deporting more people as well. Speaking of deporting people, and this just lined up perfectly, petition to deport all these mid women along with the Mexicans. And once again, he's going on and on and on again, talking about trying to, deport legal citizens of the United States of America just for being mid. And you might be saying, that's fine, it's just a joke here. But he has shown on multiple occasions that he cannot be trusted with these jokes, right? He is going after women's looks all the time when he's not going after the Jews. And it's not just a joke to him. He said it on stream, he said it on with Sneeko, and he said it on with with Sarah Stock's interview. Here we have another person. Look, he said, here he is, number 4 again. If the guys don't like my takes on women, just wait until you hear what I have to say about Jewish people. Ma'am, you're the walking definition of mid. Just calling this poor woman mid because tried to respond back to him. Sir, don't get mad at me because you settled for a mid Latina. Just basically calling this poor guy's wife mid just because he doesn't like what he has to say. That's this guy's only line of just reasoning or logic. It's just either you're Jewish or you're mid. That's literally it. That's his entire stick, and it's just getting old. Okay, and it's annoying, and it's also shows a growing problem. He should not have this much popularity, calling people mid and ugly and hating an entire race / religion of people. And here it is once again with the Pete Hegseth hate, right? Like he says, the Jews are controlling America or something, and then we have literal Christians in America. He's like, oh well, I don't like these kind of Christians. In fact, he doesn't really believe that Protestants are Christians. He said this in an interview with Sarah Stock last week. Speaking of Sarah Stock, here's another woman that he went after again, Natalie Winters, who, by all accounts and logic, is not fat. She's not fat. Like, look at her. Okay, let's yeah, you see that, right? She's not fat. All right. It just does not make any sense. And then March 16th, he said, I don't want women involved in politics. On March 18th, literally yesterday, he interviewed political reporter and advocate Sarah Stock.
Bruh.
So, again, he's not consistent. He hates the Jews. Ish. And he's also very anti-woman. And this is a growing problem. And I feel and believe that we should call this out. We should call this out. Let me just leave you with this clip
When
again.
BLM says that whites run everything, they're actually talking about Jewish people. But because Jewish people mask themselves as white, we get blamed for everything. But as it turns out, they do kind of run a lot of stuff, and you're ignorant if you don't acknowledge. But because Jewish,
Is
when
this the
BLM
guy
says that
that you
whites run
want leading your right? Is this the guy that you want online being an influencer? Is this the guy that you guys really want? No, I don't think so. That's why Beardson Beardly is cancelled.